This is the settings that I have for MnK for Apex Legends here in Season 29, and I'm going to be going over how to refine your aim, what sensitivity you should find your aim at, and how you should be practicing as well. So first things first, we're going to be in the firing range, and we're going to take a look at my settings here. Now, go ahead and follow my settings here. Um, Pretty much just change everything that you see here on screen. So if you need to go ahead and take a screenshot, go ahead and do so. All the gameplay stuff is pretty much just like straightforward. The reason why I have it on 3D is so that I can have where the damage is coming from. Crosshair damage, I have off. Reason why, so I can see my screen damage numbers. I have it stacking to show how much damage I've done on an enemy, and I can tell my teammates how much damage I've done, whether they're cracked or they're flesh. Pretty much the same thing. Reticle, I have mine on customized. I have mine on red. The reason why is because your mind recognizes red before any other color on the spectrum. So that's why I have it. I think it's pretty much default where it's at. Laser sight, have it on red as well. Enemy highlight, I have it enabled. Reason why is because uh, when you're on what's it called? Recon characters, you'll be able to see them in red. Enemy health bar, make sure that's enabled so you can let your teammates know how much health they have left. Uh, Weapon auto cycle on empty, I have it on. Reason why is because if I run out of ammo, I need to switch my weapon automatically. Taking damage closes death box or crafting menu. Please leave this off because when you're resing people in Storm, when you're on the crafter, you're going to need this off because if you have it on, you're inside Storm, you will get off the replicator and you won't be able to replicate somebody. Chain healing, I have this on single. Reason why I don't have it on off or auto is so that I can choose which ones I want to use when I'm queuing my heals. I always sprint on. Reason why is because I don't want to be holding with my pinky finger to always be sprinting. Have auto run. I do not have that on. To be honest, I probably should have it on just because I'm always sprinting. And then sprint control. I probably should put this on hold, or I'm sorry, on press. But I like where I'm at right now. Usually, I don't find myself having to sneak past people. That's the only reason. If you want to change these three, I would suggest it. If you're worried about people finding you, I would turn this off, put this on press, so that you're on when you sprint. All you have to do is just press it. You don't have to hold it while you play. Auto run, I have that off as well. Jetpack glide, I have it on hold. Mantle boost activation, jump. I don't usually have it on anything else. And then mantle boost UI, have that on full. All right, we're gonna go on to HUD UI here. Interact prompt styles, I have it compact. Reason why is because it takes up large majority of your screen. So if you see here, it's that small little box right there. If we have it on, let me see here. If we have it on default, it's gonna show you can't really see enemies on your screen, right? So that's why I have that off. Or on compact. Tutorial systems have that on off. Button hints off. Health and ammo pop-ups, I have this off as well. Hop up, pop up, I have that on. Obituaries, I have that on so I can see who's dying and see if there's any knocks. Minimap rotation, I have that on off. Arsenal maps and HUD icons, I have that on maximum so I know where the arsenals are at on the screen or on the map. Ping opacity, have this on default. Reason why, so I can see them. If I have it unfaded, I can't really see any of my teammates' pings. Off-screen portraits, I have that on. And then performance display, I also have that on just so I can see if I before I'm entering a fight, uh, if I'm able to even take that fight, depending on if there's lag or if there's inconsistency in the servers. Um, Accessibility, you can copy these. And then privacy, if you want to change these as well, you can. Alright, so that goes on with the gameplay. If you guys have any questions, feel free to go ahead and comment and ask any questions on reasons why I should go a little bit more in depth on this. Now, we're going to move on to mouse and keyboard. So this guide is mainly for mouse and keyboard players. Now, the first thing we want to go over here is mouse sensitivity. So just really depends on how large of a mouse pad or area where you move your mouse. Now, the reason why I have it on 2.1 is because when I want to go turn around, it's half, it's my entire, or it's my entire, half of my mouse pad I'm turning around on. So when you do that, it should feel consistent. So 2.1, I could probably raise it a little bit higher. So like, let's just say we'll change it for this purpose, 2.3, right? Not much of a difference, but you could see here, even when I'm hip firing. That's probably a lot better. I probably should leave it at that. But as you can see here, it's pretty easy to full clip somebody with those settings attached. Now, good rule of thumb, your entire mouse pad, or half of your mouse pad should be able to turn around 180 degrees. Now, ADS mount sensitivity, I do this based upon my per optics sensitivity. I turn this on. Reason why is because I want to be a little bit more refined when I aim down sights. Now, necessarily, do I not want to have it on 1? I have it at 0.9. I used to have it on 0.7, but the reason why I have it on 0.9 is so that it's able to get a little bit more refined on that. So you can see here, if you can't full clip on your 1x settings, then your settings are wrong. If you're going all over the place, then your settings need to be changed. If your settings are way too high, you're going to, I'll kind of show you here what kind of goes on here when your settings are way too high. So usually what happens when your settings are way too high on the ADS, and we'll change it for like an example here. So we'll change it to 2. So usually what will happen is it's hard to get that precise aim. So you're just kind of like all over the place. Like even when I'm trying to track this, like it's just kind of difficult. So the reason why I have it on 0.9 here is so that I have a little bit more refined aim. Now your aim or your settings will not be the same as mine. Just a heads up, I'm on a 800 DPI. Now if you're at like 1800 DPI, this would probably be a lot lower. Okay, so if you can't full clip with an R9, even with the gold mag, like you should change those settings. Even I'm messing up right here, just because I changed my settings there for a little bit. So if you guys want to copy this here, this is what are the settings I use for my optics. Now mouse acceleration, I turn that off. Mouse invert off. Clap mouse cursor to game window, I have this on off so I can drag it off screen. Lightning effects off, and then these are my buttons. Everything's pretty much like default. There's no really any reason for me to really change anything. I do have a mouse that has numbers on the side of it, so as you can see here, I'm able to switch my weapons and all that using this kind of mouse. So everything's pretty much basic here for the settings. I'll let you guys kind of scroll through that. If you guys need a pause, just let me know. Alright, I'm not going to go over the controller settings just because this is an MnK, mouse and keyboard guide. Video, these are my settings. Have mine at 108. FOV ability scaling enabled. Sprint view shake minimal. The reason why I don't want to have normal here, you'll see here. Watch this. Your screen will start to shake, and you won't have like accurate aim. Okay, so we're gonna change that back to minimal. UI layout auto.
The upgrade.
And then here's my advanced settings. I have mine adapt. I have my NVIDIA reflex on. Adaptive resolution FPS target. Pretty much these things are all pretty basic. Some of these you will have to change, like sun shadow coverage. I have that on low. Sun shadow detail, I have that on low. Spot shadow detail, I have this on high so I can see enemies' shadows when around corners. And then I have ragdolls on low. Impact marks on high so I can see where my damage is being hit. Map detail low, model detail high. Reason why map detail low is because I want to make sure that any grass doesn't get in the way while I'm shooting somebody. Let me see here. We'll apply these settings. Audio. So you want this on 7.1 surround so you can hear other enemies.
I've got to pick an upgrade.
And then these are the advanced audio. So I have the music off and lobby music off. Reason why is because you won't be able to hear enemies. Reason why I have dialogue volume on is in case if teammates are pinging anything or if they need anything or when Wraith knows when an enemy is nearby. Okay. So that goes with the settings. Now, when it comes down to practicing or refining your aim, usually I have these on strafe constant so I can practice my aim. Now, what you want to do at first is you really want to focus on can you one-clip somebody while they're standing still. And this also helps with your recoil. See, if you can do that with an R9, you should be able to do that with an R9, is one clip somebody standing still. Now, to get a lot more refined aim, this is called smoothing, aim smoothing. You want to strafe as you're shooting. Now, the reason why you want to strafe as you're shooting is because this is called aim smoothing. The only recoil you need to work on is aiming down. So when I shoot and I'm not aiming down, all I have to do, as you can see there, right? My aim just goes up instead of sideways. Because if I just aim, it moves like this. It moves sideways when I'm just standing still. But when I'm moving left or right, that's aim smoothing. That helps you out with your aim. Now, what you can do is do kind of like a jiggle. When you jiggle your movement. So you go A, D, A, D. And then while you're shooting, all you have to do is just pull down. And that's how you get more accurate on your challenges with your aim.
I must pick one.
And you don't have to worry about trying to do the pattern of like a zigzag of an S when you're doing some of these recoils on some of these other guns. So that's what helps with aim smoothing. You could do that AD, moving side to side, or you can just strafe just one side. Now the reason why I'm choosing these two guns, the R301 has ultimately no recoil. R9 has some recoil, but if you want to kill somebody pretty fast, R9 is one of the highest, or one of the best guns for time to kill. It's called TTK. That's why a lot of the pros use it, is because when you see somebody, it takes them about a second and like a couple milliseconds for them to die. Alright, so once you get your one clipping done and your aim smoothing done, what you want to do is start moving your enemies to start strafing constantly. Now the reason why you want to do this is because normally in a match, people are moving around. So now you work on aim smoothing while your targets are moving. So what you want to do here is you could do a counter strafe or you can strafe with them. Now it just really depends on the scenario base, but you can work on both. So we'll work on the matching the strafe of the enemy. So that's pretty easy. Now we could also do counter strafing, right? As well, right? Counter strafing. As you can see, I missed our bullet. Now the target moves faster as you counter strafe, so you just got to keep that in mind. So that's why you practice the two, right? Strafing
The upgrade.
and then
I must pick one.
counter strafing. Okay. So that's what you should be doing while you're practicing with these new settings that you guys have. Is you want to practicing on a target that's standing still, a target that is moving, and then practice your aim smoothing. Now, there's something extra I can teach you guys here is called jitter aiming. So what you can do here is jitter aiming is just shaking your mouse like this while you're aiming. Now it helps out with your aiming and reduces the recoil so it's more accurate. So I'll kind of show you what it looks like here. Right? Even just with standing still. That's a bad example, but I'll kind of show you while there's aim smoothing as well. It's kind of hard with the R9, so just because they ultimately have no recoil. I mean, once you get the pattern done, you pretty much can one-clip somebody. Now, once you get into the higher ranks of like high plat and diamond lobbies, they're pretty easy. Once you crack somebody, you can ultimately push them, but it just really depends on your team. Now, when it comes down to trying to challenge, you know, some of these people, you're gonna have to focus on your aim. You literally have to one-shot somebody, because when you're in pred lobbies or master lobbies, you'll instantly get deleted. Now, the reason why you'll instantly get deleted is because you're not playing cover. Now, that's a topic for a different day, but these are my settings for MnK. This is my first video, so please let me know what you guys think. And if you guys have any questions, I'll answer them in the comments. But that is how to fix your settings, making sure that you have good aim, practicing aim, and what are some practicing methods that you guys could use to be able to one-clip somebody or get better at the game and climb higher. Right, so once you get your aim good enough on MnK, you can climb pretty high. Like, even on controller, the reason why controller players are high levels is because they have the aim assist and they don't miss their shots. But easy way to counter that is, I'll kind of show you here, is easy counter. You smoke, disables auto aim, and that's why MnK players dominate, is when there's smoke, there's caustic gas. Controller players cannot play in that unless if they have god aim or they've been playing for a long time. So alright, that concludes my MnK settings for 2026 for Season 29. I'm also a Masters player, and I'm trying to hit Predator, but with these recent changes with solo queue, it's a little bit more different because you're not 3-stacking. So I wouldn't say it's more difficult. You just have to be more wary about positioning and what fights to take and what fights not to take and what lobbies you're in. Alright, have a good one.